that was amazing. Very emotional, especially, you turn around. I think I have it all held in, and, I got it together and watching the video board, and then the garage door open and they see all those kids come out. It's like, oh, my gosh.
I was going to say that. I mean, as far as your career is gone, every bit of that means as much to you as anything that happened on the field.
Absolutely. And you do things. I did it because I wanted to, and I love doing the things that I do, but I also felt a responsibility as a professional athlete that we've been given this platform to give back to kids that are in need. I was lucky enough to live out my dream to play in the major leagues, but you don't realize how many lives you affect or touch until that door opened and you see all those kids come out, and you're like, oh my gosh, for the longest time, once a week at home, I would visit with these kids and sign autographs or just be their friend for a little while. And it's amazing how much you can affect somebody's life just by, doing what I did.
And that's a message you really try to send to all your teammates throughout the years.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in leading by example and never being very boisterous. And it was kind that David said the things that he said today for me, because you don't know who you touch just by living your life and living it the right way. And apparently he saw the things that I did in the community, not only here, the community that I played in, but the community that I lived in. I say this all the time. You go through that whole roster, everybody's involved in something. Beckett's involved in something. Bedroy's involved in something. Euclid. Everybody has a charity that they're involved in, and it's an amazing thing. That's why the Red Sox won the community award 2 years ago, and that's why David won the Roberto Clemente Award last year. It's amazing.
Of course, you are also a recipient of the Roberto Clemente Award, and it is amazing how many people you've touched here, and of course back home in Melbourne, Florida as well. And I know you're still involved, even though now you're retired. Yeah,
we just celebrated our 20th anniversary this past January, and to have Andrew McKnight come out was touching. He was, when I first got started back in 1992, he was a student at the Space Coast Early Intervention Center. And to see him blossom into a young man and actually graduate from college from the University of Central Florida and maintain a job for Marriott. It's amazing. The success stories that the Early Intervention Center can, it's unbelievable. I mean, just to see how successful he's been and what he's been through and the challenges that have been in his life, and to have him walk on the field and be part of this celebration was truly amazing.
Leading it off here in the inning is Mike Karp, and he strikes out. It's been a very good start for Beckett, his fourth strikeout already. And here are the kids you were talking about coming from center field. I didn't think you were going to be able to keep it together at that point.
Even watching it now, it's like, it's so emotional because, the program that I started the Wakefield Warriors back in 97, 98, when I was here and knew that I was going to be here for I just signed a multi-year deal. I knew I was going to be here, and I wanted to give back to the community the best I knew how. And like I said before, you don't know how many lives you touch until you see it, and then I saw it, the video screen, I saw the pictures and remembered a lot of memories, but to actually see them come out, the children in the wheelchairs and then the crutches, and it really touches your heart, and it got me, it really got me.
Did you expect to see your former catcher back here?
Yeah, I did. Talk about surprises and coming out.
It was pretty cool how they did it. He came out in the cop car. That was awesome, and to be able to throw him one final knuckleball, and that was awesome. To not only Doug, but Mike Timlin, Mike Stanley. My college coach was a big influence in me growing up when I was in college, and teaching me life lessons, and just everybody. My parents were here. I was able to share that with them, and people from the Early Intervention Center, and that was cool. I didn't think I would get it there, but I got it there, and he made a great catch.
It wasn't bad. Is there a comeback maybe? What do you think?
You never know. You never know.
You said June.
I never close any doors. Trust me.
Plenty of season left here. We're only game 36.
You never know.
Lots of baseball.
Lots of baseball.
So what have you been doing?
Nothing. I've been traveling back and forth to here quite a bit because opening, Tech and I did opening day, and then the 100th year anniversary, and came back up here for today. It was, and we had our charity event last week. Got to go to the Kentucky Derby, which was very cool. It was one of my first bucket item lists to check off this retirement, and it was pretty cool. But the kids get out of school next week, and I'll be up here full time for the summer, and be involved with the Jimmy Fun and the Pitching In for Kids stuff. We have a golf tournament in the first part of June, and look forward to getting back to New England and enjoying a summer in the Massachusetts and New England area. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird.
How close have you been following the ball club?
I watch them every night. You know, it's you bleed for them. You know, the struggles that they've been through, but you know, they've played the last 3 games, been outstanding. They've got great pitching. You know, Josh is pitching a great game today, and hopefully he can continue to do so. But I'm starting to feel like the chemistry is starting to roll with these guys. You know, it's.
Beckett picks up his 5th K. What do you see with Beckett so far? I mean, today he's been outstanding. But
he's been outstanding. You know, he's hitting his spots. And he's throwing the ball where he wants to throw it. He's got velocity, and you know, Josh is a champion, man. He's a pro at what he does. You know, every once in a while you get a hiccup here and there, but that's baseball for you. Sometimes you just don't feel right, and you leave balls over the plate, and that's what happened in his last start. I think it's just one of those things. But he looks determined today to abolish his last start, and he's doing great.
I got to tell you, David Ortiz, when he came out with his speech, he was as nervous as I've ever seen Big Papi in any situation. He said, "I got to read this in English." He said,
"Yeah, you got to give it to David. I mean, for him to actually prepare something like that, you know, and English is a second language.
Yes.
And we tease him all the time about his English, even, you know, on road trips. And I miss those times on the bus, giving him a hard time about his English. But for him to be able to do that and write things down in English and get up there, and that was amazing.
That was pretty awesome.
It means a lot.
We are very thankful to have Tim Wakefield with us today on this Tim Wakefield day at Fenway Park. As Josh Beckett able to get strike 2, and it's 1-2.
As time goes on between the time you announce your retirement and now, has it gotten any easier for you?
A little bit. You know, I've settled into the role. I mean, and nothing's ever going to replace the competition and the adrenaline that you get when you're on the baseball field. Nothing will ever replace that. The biggest thing that I can try to do, attaboy Josh, is to, you know, be the best father and the best husband that I can. That's the only thing that keeps me going.
So you're a champion of both, and we thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.